To the channel, welcome to another video. This will be a multi-part series where I'm going to show you my real trades in certain crypto investments, how I managed to make more than 100% in Avalanche, how I lost money in a crypto called Dent, and also how I made decent profits in VeChain and another currency called Basic Attention Token. It will be a multi-part series. Today I will talk about how I made more than 100% in Avalanche, how I used some take profit strategies to reduce my risk, and I will show you exactly my real set of trades. So stay tuned for the video. Let's get started with the video. So I have my Vasirex platform trading report from 29 January 2021 to 29 January 2022. Okay, it involves all the trades that I've made. So I'm going to open up Avalanche is the one we're going to talk about today. As you can see here, the column G says whether I sold or whether I bought in. Okay, so as you can see here, I have bought in total of $359 totally, and most of this I made purchases in March 2021. As you can see the date, the rest of it I have totally sold. So the total is around $750 right? So I invested 360, I've made around 750 plus. Even after 29 January, I had some Avalanche left, so I had about $800 in total, right? I had made about $800 or a little more than that in total. Okay. So let's start with the first strategy. What did I do? When did I buy in, right? So simple rule I had back in last Feb March was, whatever crypto it is, especially if it is high risk crypto, I will at least wait for a 50% market correction. Okay, this is the first point I had in mind. This 50% could be 60, 70, 80% for you guys, but you have to stick to that rule. Okay, now I will go to the Avalanche chart. Okay, and if you see last year, I think it was in February or something, it reached a max of $60. Okay, all time high of $60. So my chain rule was simple: wait for it to drop below $30. Till then I am not getting in. Okay, and I guess around March, as I go back to my trade, it was 27th March, right? So as you see, around that time, AVAX did even test $25-26 level, so I got in around $28 level. Very important thing, I did not do dollar cost averaging here because this was a different strategy I was trying. So I invested all my money, like $350, almost at the same price. As you see, there was no dollar cost averaging. Okay, first thing that I did, I'm not saying it is a good approach always, but it was an approach I wanted to test and try. Okay, I got in. Then one thing I was clear in my mind was, so it had already crashed from 60 to below 30, so it had already crashed more than 50%, which means that there is still a potential for it to crash 50-60%, right? Because based on past data, you can see that is possible. So I knew that if Bitcoin would crash, the market would potentially crash, right? I had that in mind. So since I got in around $28, I knew that it could still go down to $14, $12, right? That was still in my mind. And my investment horizon was approximately at least 1 year, right? I was willing to stay 1 year unless something drastic happened. So investment horizon was exactly 1 year. Okay, 1 year or around 1 year, basically depends. Okay, so what happened? It fell down. As you see, it even, I think, touched in the May-June crash, I think it touched a low of, as you see, around $10, which is like another 50-60% down from my original investment. So there I had another small rule. As you see here, there is a small sell order I put at this price, right, at 13.4 USDT. I put a small sell order to sell one Avalanche. So what I did was, for panic selling part, I had a small order placed, okay, just to protect a small portion of my capital. This is not going to do me wonders, but still something is better than nothing. So that was one more rule I put in. Similarly, if it had fallen below $6 or $7, I would have panic sold a little more, okay, because that would mean the crash was already 90%, okay. But thankfully that did not happen. But I had this small rule, okay, and I made myself one more rule: whenever the market bounces back, I will start taking profits in steps, okay, and I would stay patient for at least 1 year. So then what happened with the market? So you had 3 months of literal frustration and drop, and in July the market started to pick up again, right? And Avalanche topped out around November, but you can see this neat uptrend from thing from July, August to November. Okay, in that particular cycle, what did I do? As you can see here. Okay, so after this, right? So when it touched $63, I sold $20, right? I took $20 profit. Similarly, when it touched 75, I took some profit. And when it really got heated up, I think it was around $115, $170, I sold $170. I took a huge chunk of profit. And then as you see in this layer, right, in this full layer, right, around $100 to $120 where market was definitely heated up, I did take a lot of profits. And as you can see in this portion alone, right, I think I've taken around $359, which is exactly my investment, right? So I literally got rid of my initial investment when Avalanche was heating up and the prices was around $100 to $120. Now I was free of my initial investment. My risk was zero. The only money I was left to play with was completely profits. Okay. Then what happened? Of course, the market, I think, as you see in beyond like December only, it started to crash again. So then even on the downside, right, I was going down, I was taking profits because the only money left in that Avalanche crypto was my profits, right? My initial investment was already covered. So I started taking little bit, as you see, when it was at 90, 66, 59, 70 and so on. Okay. And this portion, if you see, right, I took another, as you see, $380 of profit. Plus, if you look at the amount of Avalanche I had sold, so I had purchased about, as you see, 12.77 Avalanche, and the amount of Avalanche I sold was only 10.38. So I still had about 2 Avalanche, which I further sold as the price got to $50 and $60 in Feb and March. So eventually I was able to take profits of more than $400, $450, which is way more than my initial investment of $350, right? So if you see my initial investment, it was just $360, right? And the profits that I've taken starting from here, one of that was of course panic selling, but overall is $740 approx. Plus, as I told you, I had about 2 Avalanche, which I sold on average around $40, $50. So that's another 100, which means that I made a profit of $840 with my $360 investment, which is, if I have to calculate a percentage, it will be basically, yeah, it was definitely almost a 230% increase. So I made a profit of almost 130%. Okay, this is what happened with Avalanche. So the 4 key takeaways from this investment was very simple. First, rule number 1, always have a cutoff, right? Like, wait for the market to correct. What percentage the crypto should correct is left to you. This can be 60, 70%. That's up to you. I put the deal at 50%. Okay, that is based on my risk appetite. The second thing, you have to be clear what is your horizon. So when I got in March last year, I was sure at least I'll wait till this March and I would take profits in steps. Okay, so have a clear investment horizon, because imagine I got into Avalanche at 28 and when it crashed to 10, I had panic sold, right? And then the market bounced up to $100. I would have lost even my initial investment. So always be clear on your time horizon. Then third thing, which is not a must, but please have a small quantity or small order for panic selling when market starts to crash a lot. Okay, this can at least protect some of your initial capital. And then the fourth step, which I showed you, once the market starts to heat up, right, starting from $63 all the way up to $115. So you see in various steps, I took profits, and more importantly, when the market was really heating up around $100, I took a lot more profits, right? I could actually take a lot more money out of the investment. And then when the market was starting a clear downtrend, even on the way down, since I was already safe of my initial investment of $360, I could take the remaining money steadily because all that was my profit, right? So basically, as you see here, one final thing to conclude, my initial investment was $360, great. And the profits I had taken in this set was 360, right? So by the time the market was overheated, I was safe of my initial investment. So whatever was left was my profit. I could take it in different steps on the way